Picture this. You've arrived in the city of your dream marathon. You're trained and ready to go. But suddenly you realize you forgot your racing shoes. What a nightmare, right? Don't let that be you. Today, we're going to talk about the ultimate marathon bag checklist to ensure that wherever you travel, you're good to go and race ready. Hello and welcome back to the Marathon Running Podcast channel, the channel where we fuel your passion for running. I'm Letty, your host, and I travel to about 3 to 4 marathons a year all around the globe. And with those countless flights and races under my belt, I've mastered the art of packing the perfect marathon bag. Now, if you want a printable version of this checklist that we're going to talk about, make sure you comment below, let me know that you're interested, and I'll make sure to email it directly to you. I want to tell you guys about the type of luggage that I use for all of my trip. I travel with just a carry-on. Why do I do that? Because it's convenient, it saves time at the airport, and I avoid the risk of losing luggage. And guess what? You don't need to spend a fortune for a good carry-on bag. There's tons of stores like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, even Ross, and they offer fantastic options for those carry-ons for under $100. If carry-on only travel is not for you, that's great, but keep in mind that you still get a personal item, and these first 10 or 12 items of this section are absolute must-haves, so you must pack them in your personal item. Alright, so number 1 item of these must-haves is your racing shoes. Make sure you do not lose them. It depends on where you travel to. Obviously, if you're traveling to Boston, there's tons of stores. There will be the Nike store, if you're running in Nike, where you can probably replace that pair of shoes, but you don't know. You don't know if they'll have your size and all of the above. So make sure you put those racing shoes into your personal items. Along with that, your socks. I know we're all particular about our socks. The ones that work for you, you might not find where you go, so make sure you pack those. Next, your racing kit. You gotta wear some good clothes for that marathon. Make sure you don't get any chafing. For ladies, that includes not just your pants and your singlets, but also your sports bra. I am super particular about my sports bra, so if I forget my sports bra, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably layer up and wear 2 different ones. I don't know. Also on that must-have list is your running watch. Running watches are crucial to track your pace and your performance, so if you're like me, you want to make sure that you're running the right pace. Also, if you don't have a running watch, you'll still have official results, but it's not going to be on Strava, which means that race did not really happen. But don't stop at your running watch. Also make sure that you bring your running watch charging cable. I know that Garmin has a pretty universal charger that works on most of their watches, but why even forget it, right? Put it on your list. Another thing that's super important to bring is Body Glide. I cannot run a race without Body Glide because I will have chafings under my boobs. Pack that to avoid that awful, painful shower. Now, another thing that's super important not to forget is your gels. Your gels are the nutrition that you need for the race that you've been practicing with. And I can tell you a personal story. I went to the Tokyo Marathon and I forgot my gels. Long story short, I had to go to the grocery store and try to figure out what the writing was on the items that I was trying to use instead of gels. Obviously, I did not PR in Tokyo, and I attribute it to that. Along with your gels, you also do not want to forget to bring your fueling belt. Your fueling belt is what you've been using in your training to carry your gels, and it's pretty annoying to have the gels just in your hands as you're running. Obviously, you can do it, but we want to set you up the best way possible. Last but not least on my must-have essential list are headphones. If you've been using headphones, then bring your headphones because that way you can be in race mode. If you don't use headphones, all power to you. I'm trying to be like you, but I'm just not there yet. So there you have it. These are the essentials that you need to make sure that you're covered, even if your bag that's checked goes missing. But why stop there? We're going to give you the complete list of everything else that you should bring to your marathon to ensure that your experience is super smooth and amazing. Let's talk about some other race day essentials that you should pack. First up, a hat or visor to keep the sweat from your face and also keep the sun out of your eyes. Along with that, I always bring a pair of sunglasses. I know that sometimes races start really early and the sun has not come out yet, so during that time, I set the sunglasses on top of my hat, so once the sun comes out and it's blinding me, I just put them on. Next up, hair ties. If you guys know me at all, you know that 90% of the time my hair is up in a ponytail, so I always have hair ties with me, but I bring additional ones so that way I can keep my hair from getting knotted as I put them on in a bubble way. Safety pins is another one of my items that I pack. I know that safety pins normally come in the package when you pick up your bib, but what I'm talking about is bib boards. Bib boards are little plastic pieces that hold your bib up on your shirt without putting holes in them. So if you want to take care of your racing kit and make it last a little bit longer, get yourself some bib boards. Another item that I always bring to my races is a camera. I still have the Insta360 Go-To, which clips onto my hat and have captured some amazing memories with it. Next up, arm warmers. Instead of having arm warmers that I then have to carry with me, I choose to bring diabetic socks, cut holes in the toes, so that way I create my own arm warmers. They're disposable to me once I heat up, which is usually right around mile 2. Last but not least, running jewelry. Everybody has their own preference when it comes to that. I know there's tons of stuff that you can purchase online. You can even order personalized bracelets that you can put your mantra on it. I also like to bring a piece of jewelry that was gifted to me from Kenya that has my name on it. It makes me feel extra speedy. Now let's move on and talk about some fueling essentials. We all know that when we travel to different faraway places, we might not always be able to find the items that we prefer. So with that in mind, make yourself a list of what it is that you want. Obviously, it's not going to be your race day banana, right? But what about your preferred granola bar? Also make sure that you include your hydration of choice on this list. Now, another few pre-race essentials for me, because I tend to run cold, are throwaway items. And with that, I mean a throwaway shirt and throwaway pants. Go to Goodwill and buy something that'll keep me warm for race morning. I usually try to go for the ugliest one, so that way I'm not tempted to keep these items. Along with that, shower caps just to keep your feet dry. I am not a fan of single-use plastic at all, but if it is rainy, I do bring a disposable rain poncho with me. Something else that we as runners tend to not think about is the check gear essentials. And for me, that includes a post-run hoodie that'll help me stay warm after the race, because you know after the race you get cold really quickly. Same with joggers. I want something comfy for my legs. I also bring wet wipes to freshen up after the race, because usually I don't go shower right away, I hang out. A change of shoes if needed. I tend to bring some Crocs with me just to give my feet a break from these carbon-plated shoes, and a plastic bag for anything sweaty or wet that I'm carrying. Now, I know that a lot of you guys have recovery tools. I personally use a Chirp, but unfortunately this thing is never gonna fit into my carry-on bag. Last but not least, in any medication that you use, let it be any anti-inflammatories, Tylenol, put medications on your list. What you will also always find in my carry-on bag is motivational reading material. It's worked for me in the past. So that's my list. Please let me know what you have on your list. Comment below if I forgot anything, so that way I can make sure that I add it to my list. Let's get this conversation going. And if you did find my checklist at all helpful, please consider giving me a thumbs up and sharing this list with your running community. Thank you again for tuning into my channel. Do not forget to subscribe for more inspiration and more videos. Thank you and have a great week of running.